Okay. So can you just briefly introduce yourself?
My name is Philip Zubia. I'm a firefighter paramedic at CAL FIRE, Riverside County Fire Department in the city of Norco.
Okay. What is it like working in this community?
The city of Norco is very unique. It is very fun. It has a unique lifestyle to where they have an animal keeping lifestyle. And there's a lot of horses, a lot of livestock, a lot of animals that people have in this town. It makes it very interesting to work here.
Okay. What do you believe are your community's strengths?
I think I just touched on one of them. They're very unique in the sense that they are very passionate about their animal keeping lifestyle. As you notice, there's no sidewalks, it's all horse trails. There's a reason for that because the community wants to maintain their animal keeping lifestyle. So, whether it be riding horses or there's a camel or two in town. But they do all that too in town.
What about weaknesses?
Weaknesses? That's a tough one to answer. Weaknesses, there's sometimes more animals than there are people. And animals don't vote.
How about dust?
I don't know, I'm used to it. Yeah, I don't smell anything. There's visitors that came to the station that don't usually work here, and they said that they smelled it. They from immediately getting off the freeway, and they smelled narco. And I was like,
I don't smell it.
I don't smell it.
I mean, you just get used to it. I smell it in Eastville, but not here.
Those cows, though, I think too. They're stinkier.
Okay. How would you say employment is here for people these days? Like,
In the city?
Yeah. Is it hard? Would you say it's hard for people to find jobs here? Or easy?
I
Are
think
the
so.
jobs readily available here?
The city of Norco is not largely industrialized, so most of the occupations here in the city, have to do with the animal keeping lifestyle, whether it be a horseshoer, feedstock, animal feed store owner, things along those lines. Most of the Norco community is like a bedroom type community, so they end up commuting elsewhere for their job.
Okay. Do you have a family doctor?
I do have a family.
And how accessible is your doctor?
Well, it's accessible if you make your appointment 2 to 3 months out.
Population.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the greatest health problem in this area?
This area we see a lot of cardiac, heart-related issues. People here are very active, with their animals, but a lot of cardiac, a lot of respiratory issues here, whether it be allergies or you got your asthma or your COPD, CHF type issues.
And lastly, what seems to be the gossip center or the informal communication network of this community?
There's a newspaper that circulates in town, but right now I can't remember it. I believe it's called the Brain Tickler, to be honest. But you can submit,
Announcements.
Yeah, exactly, and then it gets circulated through all the restaurants and all the liquor stores here.
And do you have anybody?
I have a question.
Yes.
As far as the residents of Norco, what would you say their socioeconomic statuses are? Do you see a lot more of the low-income families, or?
The city of Norco is pretty diverse. And, for example, the residents of Norco call the Flatlanders down here on the flatland, and then we have a community up on top of the hill that's still the city of Norco, but they're up on the hill. To summarize, you get more middle, upper class type communities on the hill, and you get lower to middle class here down on the flat.
And then who do you think are the minorities here in Norco?
It's largely Caucasian population. There are many
Any other, Hispanic,
Asians.
I would say no.
It's rare to see them.
Right. It's largely Caucasian and Hispanic.
And as far as working
call volume like?
So our call volume, last year's stats were approximately 2,200 calls for roughly, 13 square mile city. We have 2 fire stations that are in the city to provide 911 service. But mostly medical aid type calls, like we've touched on, respiratory problems or the cardiac type issues. But we run multiple emergency responses for a variety of calls.
The gentleman we interviewed a little while ago, he said that there's a lot of horse accidents here, obviously because a lot of people have horses. Do you guys ever get called?
Yeah, absolutely. Trauma, type accidents, people falling off their horse, things like that. Occasionally we'll get a traffic accident involving a horse where a car has come in contact with one of the horses.
Vehicle versus horse.
Yes.
Type of a... All right.
Anybody else have
Well,
any questions? Well, thank
Thank
you
you so much for your time and letting us do this interview.